Hi everyone, I'm Nate, and welcome to my channel. Today, I have for you a review from YoYoFriends, and I've never reviewed anything from YoYoFriends on this channel, so they've sent me actually a couple different things. So we're gonna start here with the Koi, which actually released yesterday. So you can check that out pretty much anywhere you buy yo-yos. You should be able to buy this yo-yo. They also sent me the Dove, so which I'll be reviewing in a later video. So let's get on with our talk about the Koi, and let's get into that. All right. All right. So the Koi. So first off, YoYoFriends, their catalog, it's very much geared towards competition performance yo-yos, right? A fair amount of bimetal yo-yos, a fair amount of large, oversized V-shape, H-shape, very competition sort of shaped yo-yos. They do not do organic yo-yos. And so this is really a departure from their normal design perspective to make an organic yo-yo. First thing, I immediately, whenever I saw the profile of it at least, like the first thing that came to mind, because you know, as a reviewer, I've reviewed or played a ton of yo-yos over the years. And so like when I pick up a yo-yo, I almost always think of something else. I don't always mention it, but my immediate thought was this reminded me of the Overture, Sebi and One Drop, which I love that yo-yo. So that's a good thing to make that connection. But that profile just reminded me of that quite a bit. And even actually playing it, which I know we're not playing it right now, we're just talking about it in the hand, but even the play kind of feels a little bit like the Overture. So I'm not going to compare them directly because I don't believe it took inspiration from that yo-yo. It took I think just general inspiration from organic yo-yos that are out there that are quite trending right now, right? I'm curious what you think might be the trend of 2021. Are we going to see a continuation of some of the trends? We have a lot of slimline yo-yos. We have a lot of organic yo-yos. We have a lot of organic yo-yos that are trying to be performance yo-yos as well. So kind of, you know, bimetal, organic yo-yos, or organic yo-yos that aren't just that sort of laid back everyday feel kind of, or everyday carry kind of feel, but more performance competition. So I'm curious in the comments, what do you think are going to be some of the trends of 2021 in the yo-yo world and yo-yo design? So anyways, let's get back to the Koi here. So yeah, it's a very simple design. There is no step at all. Like it's 100% organic in the design there. In the profile there, it just goes right in there. And so you're not going to get any, distance there, any kind of, any gap there as far as aiding in maybe taking the yo-yo off the plane for horizontal tricks, that kind of stuff. So this would not be the one to gravitate towards if you were competing, most likely. So, but like I said, in YoYoFriends catalog, they have a ton of different yo-yos that are more for their competition players, and they have quite a strong team of competitors as well. So I'm sure they wouldn't gravitate towards this one, most likely, at least, if they were competing and performing on the stage. So, but anyways, all that to say, it is a really nice organic. You can feel it's beefy. It's got a decent amount of weight to it. It's kind of right in that middle ground there. But it's oversized. It's large, so it's going to have a fair amount of heft on the play. You can tell it's not going to be more of a nimble, kind of light feeling throw. That it's probably going to be pretty commanding. And probably get some decent spin times because of that weight and the heft to it. Overall, I don't feel like it has like an exaggerated weight distribution to the rims or anything like that. There isn't really an IRG at all, so like there's really not much weight rim there. It just kind of goes straight out. You could probably hook it in a little bit if you wanted to do something like that. Finger spins will be okay as well. It's got a decent size hub design as well there, so the axle's pretty decent as well. I'll have all the specs and so on in the description. It does have the Koi logo here right inside the cup there, if you can see that. Kind of have to tilt it the other way. There you go. And it has a nice little koi there, of course. And yeah, I think it's even... No, it's not trademarked. It just has a dot there. Never mind. I thought it was trademarked. I was like, wow, they went through the effort of that. But anyways, yeah, overall, really nice design. Nice and clean, organic. Let's go and actually play it and see how it plays. All right, let's go. All right, welcome back. One thing I forgot to mention is that it will be coming in some solid colorways, as you have here. Also some splashes and some fades. So really reasonable budget as well. $50 for the solids, and I think it's $56 for the fades and for splashes. Really good price point there for the koi. Nice budget metal price point. It comes also in, the other thing I forgot to mention is that it comes in 7068 aluminum alloy. So a denser metal where it's a little bit more costly, friendly than the 7075 version. So it does keep costs down while still kind of maintaining a little bit more of a denser aluminum as far as machining goes. And so you can do a little bit more with it than you can do with 6061 in different ways. It has its perks, maybe. So with that, I feel, and the little bit of a more of a heft as far as the weight's concerned, it does have a pretty solid feel on the string. I don't feel like it's too heavy. I think if it was another gram heavier, it probably would be too heavy for me and probably feel a little bit more like a brick. I would argue that they did exactly what they were intending. You know, when I talked to YoYoFriends, their representative, you know, he was saying that like their goal was to kind of give a more of everyday carry, laid back sort of yo-yo that you could kind of just chill with. And I can feel that on this. You know, I would kind of throw this in a bag, you know, and just kind of carry it all day, which I think is smart for YoYoFriends to do. As I said, their catalog of yo-yos right now is very much more in the performance base. A lot of bimetal yo-yos, a lot of V-shape, a lot of H-shape yo-yos. And so for them to create something that is kind of off book a little bit, quite a bit, I think that is going to appeal to a broader market than the people that normally buy their yo-yos. And those who probably really like YoYoFriends and have quite a few of their yo-yos, this is going to be a little bit more refreshing. And so if you're like me, when I think a lot of you who watch my channel are not just competitive players or chasing that yo-yo that's just going to push you to the extreme as far as performance, you're looking for just a nice everyday carry, this is going to fit the bill for that. All right, let's go ahead and throw some standard tricks, see how it performs with that. Gap's okay, you know, it doesn't have any step that pulls away from the side there. So for rejections and so on, it's going to be really nice actually, and reject really easily. But you know, you're not going to get a ridiculous amount of string wraps, but gap's really nice and open though as well. I mentioned that the weight distribution isn't a lot towards the rims there, so you would think that it would kind of be compromised with balance, but it's a fairly stable yo-yo. Regens are a pleasure to throw with this yo-yo. It has a lot of power coming out of that. Finger spins are very capable on the koi as well. You know, even though it has a decent sized nub there, you can still kind of move around that. Thumb grinds aren't bad. Man, I have a lot of tension there. They're not bad. Like, it doesn't have like a defined IRG, but you could still pop it up. And I didn't really feel like I had to tilt it at all. Now, horizontal is probably not going to be great as expected. You know, it just doesn't pull away from the gap enough to not kind of there's just too much resistance there. But that's not what you would gravitate towards this yo-yo anyways for. Overall, I feel like it performs really well, has some really strong power to it. I really like it for things like regens. It does have a lot of that nostalgic feel. I feel like a lot of, you know, mid-school yo-yos that were organic, which by and large, that was most of them, felt a little bit more like just heavier. You know, they were kind of heavier on the specs because they felt like the heavier the yo-yo was, oftentimes the more spin time it was getting, and that was the goal, to have the longest spinning yo-yo out there. And so I feel like it has a little bit of that, but with those modern design features. So if you've been following Squared YoYos, you'll see that they just released the GBP, right? And I played this little combo on there that they featured, and there's one little like way to get into a bucket mount that I thought was really cool, and I'm going to teach you that. It might be best at some point to kind of do an aerial of this. Somebody requested that I do a tutorial of the whole combo, and I might do that if I have time. But a lot of the elements in that is going to be beneficial to see from an aerial view. So anyways, we're going to break it down here, and maybe you can kind of just add this to your tricks if you want. I've been really like bucket mounts, but here's how the bucket mount goes, and then I'll break it down for you. Okay, so, all right. So what we're gonna do here is go into here, okay? So we're just gonna pop into here, all right? And then we're gonna open up with our pointer finger and our thumb here of our third hand, and we're gonna mount onto the front string, okay? So from here, mount into the front string. You're gonna barrel roll out and then to the back. So the yo-yo's now in the back. So you have these two strings in front, okay? And then you're going to cross the yo-yo over the top, and you're gonna let go. So now what you have here is a twist here, okay? And what I like to do is kind of then let that the yo-yo go almost all the way to the ground, so that I have time then to take my thumb of my non-third hand to open up that pocket. And then you're gonna pull the yo-yo through the pocket onto here, and then you're in the bucket. Okay, let me break all that down, okay? There's a lot there. So here to the back, okay? All right, and then through here and on there. So to make it flashy and to make it smooth, you know, take your time with it. I like to make it like sort of hit almost the ground as I'm coming down. So then as I come down, I have time to open up, and then I'm pulling it up through there, and then into there. Okay, the other thing I like to do to kind of make it a little bit flashier is as I'm coming here, I like to kind of give it a little bit of a bounce, right? So it's gonna hit there and bounce. So let me show you that again. So as it comes up here, I like to just give it a little tap. It doesn't necessarily give it any more momentum, but it just kind of gives it just a little bit extra flair. Overall, really like the Koi. I think it's a really solid organic yo-yo at a really good price point. So definitely check out YoYoFriends Koi. You can find them in solids or splashes or fades, and they're currently available pretty much anywhere. So check them out, and that's going to do it for now. Until the next one. Later.